How's it going, YouTube? It's Mike with this old hot rod, and I have a helper today. Say hi to the camera.
Hi, camera.
That's Dylan. This is Alli's son, Dylan. And it's snowing out today, so we ended up having an early release day from school, from homeschool. And Alli's busy with work, so I said, send him out, I'll teach him how to weld. It's something that I was never taught as a kid, and it certainly would have been something very valuable to learn. So Dylan and I grabbed a bunch of old like cut off things and bits and pieces and scrap and all types of stuff, and Dylan decided he wanted to make a flower for his mom. I used to use a lot of horseshoes making flowers and all different types of stuff back in the day when I started welding, which is not that long ago. But Dylan chose to grab some flowers and make something for his mom, and we'll probably add something to it before we're done, I'm sure. So we got a lot of bits and pieces that we can add to it. He's 10, he's never done anything like this before, and I figured it would be a good day to learn. So this is your welding gun, and this is your nozzle. So plug it in, turn our gas on, and then what we're going to do is right here, this is just the on-off switch. You hear the welder kick on. So this right here is how hot your welder is. So level 1 is obviously the lowest, and it goes all the way up to 7. We're going to weld these little bits and pieces on 3 or 4. We'll start with 3 for now. Actually, no, we're going to start with 4. I think we could either do 4 or 5. And the weld speed is on 30. And I'll show you. So we can do your wire speed. This is at 10. See how slow it comes out? Or we can go to 30. That's 30. And this is 100. We won't be welding at 100 today. And that would be very expensive if you were to weld at 100. Put the welding wire off. So what you want to do is you want to start with it at about 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, just like your 3D pen. Exactly. You didn't think of that. Yep. That's got a trigger on it too?
Instead of plastic, it's metal.
It says, yeah, exactly. It says it's metal. Yeah. And what that helmet's going to do is when you strike the arc, when you start welding, that helmet's going to automatically darken to protect your eyes. You're not supposed to look at weld. So you got to make sure that you always wear a welding helmet when you're welding. So sometimes people cheat a little bit, and I'm not going to lie, because I'm guilty and I do it too. That's a cool spot. I like it. Alright, so what we're doing is we're going to get this flower welded up. Well, when I say we, I mean Dylan. And I'm going to have him test on a few little pieces first before he starts welding his flower. So it's really hard to see sometimes when you look through your welding mask. So you're going to kind of have to get an idea of where things are. So you have to have a ground. So you need to be able to complete the circuit. So what happens is, this is where the electricity is coming from, but it has to go through the ground cable back into the welder to complete a circuit. So I have a spot ground down on my welding table. So what's going to happen is you're going to weld, it's going to go through the metal, into the table, into my ground clamp, through the machine, and it's going to complete the circuit. So you always have to make sure you have your grounding strap on. This is just a magnet. This is to put your gun in after you're done welding, in between welds. So you're going to get you a pair of gloves. You got your dirt bike, well, your mom's or someone's dirt bike gloves in here, and I think these are probably the only ones that'll fit you for now that I have in here. So definitely you're going to want to put them on. You do not want to touch this metal with bare hands, because this is literally like, I don't know how many degrees, thousands of degrees or 1200 degrees or whatever it is. It's really, really hot. So you want to try to just get used to the trigger at first. So like you said, it's probably just like your 3D gun. Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to try to get it so it's on a couple scrap pieces here first. move this one. So what you want to do is you want to try to get this so it's... You want to try to get it so you're, like I said, about 1/4 of an inch away. So look like the thickness of your finger. You want to put your helmet down. You should still be able to see it, right? So that's why I have that light up above my table so you can see it. You want to get it down like that, right to a point where the wire's almost touching, and then you just want to pull the trigger. So what you want to do is you want to count to like 2 seconds. 1, 2, and then let off the trigger. 1, 2. Look. See, look how the weld went from here. Look, it went through the through the metal, into the table, down through the wire.
Is that what all these bumps are?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what all these bumps are, looking like that. So that's called a tack weld. So that just kind of tacks it in place for now and just holds it. So that's going to be what we're going to do for your flower at first to make sure it's all set where you want it to be. Because you don't want to weld it all the way across. If you weld it all the way across and if something's wrong, then you have to cut it all back out. So what we're going to do is I want to show you first. I'm going to show you with a marker on the table. I'll show you how you want to weld. Like the actual, there's a pattern. I don't want to use a marker, I want to use a chalk, a piece of chalk, because otherwise it'll stay on the table. So depending on which direction you're going, you'll go like this. You want to do little circles next to one another. You want to try to get the movement like this, just, and what you really want to do when you're welding with the gun is you want to try to connect the first one to the second one to the third, or vice versa. The second one to the first, the third one to the second. So you want to kind of overlap. So what it's doing is it's taking the metal that's still molten hot, that's still orange. This weld right here is taking this weld and it's kind of pulling it in and it's blending it in. And then this one blends the second one, and the fourth one blends into the third, and the fifth into the fourth. Take the gun, it's not on. You can take the gun, use your trigger. I always put my hand here just to kind of keep it and hold it. Because if you do this, you move too much, so you want to kind of try to like stabilize it a little bit. And then you can just try tracing these like that without it on. Just try tracing it and see if you can. So when you pull the trigger, there's going to be thousands of volts going through that. And that's how you're going to connect all the metal pieces together. Okay? Just like your 3D pen. Alright, so I'm good.
It's gonna be hard.
It's not gonna be hard.
Why?
You can't see?
Like I can see.
What do I have that you can stand on? A crate. Stand on a crate? Are you too tall? No? Alright. Alright, so what we're going to do is do like the little circles across that. So maybe try to like support your hand. You might be a little too high. I mean, so, yep, put this hand down on the table like this. Put it like a fist. Rest this on you. Well, however you want to do it. Can you rest it like that? And
Like, does it get too hot if you got this?
No, you should be okay. It would take a lot of weld for you to really get your hand real hot with that. Alright, so I'm going to fire it up. Hold on. You're going to put your mask down. So why don't we do a tack weld first? Can you see in between?
Yeah.
Alright, so go ahead. Pull the trigger and pop it. Yep, go ahead. Say count 1, 2. Oh, you want to keep it right there. Go ahead. 1, 2. Stop. Now flip your mask up.
I can feel it on my
That's a tack weld. So, be careful, that's hot, you're going to burn your hand. Well, they're not the greatest, they're not leather gloves, so you can really burn your hand with that. So why don't we try another tack weld right there, make sure your helmet's down. Wait a minute. Put your hand here, yeah, like that. Whoa. You gotta give me a heads up. I want to get it right down, go ahead. Top of 2.
Oh my god, I can feel that.
Is it burning your arm or is it splattering?
It's like sparking.
You can put this on, it's clean to protect your hands, or your arm rather. It's just my welding, one of my welding shirts. It's gonna be a little big for you. There we go. Did I roll it up too short? Good? Much better. So Dylan's got his earplugs in, his welding helmet on, his welding shirt. You're right. Or that's why I put that here. If you got to build it up a little bit, I have a couple other things you can put your arm on or your hand on if you need. But it's just something, like I said, to stabilize it. I hold it like this sometimes. This will get hot after a while. It takes a little while for it to get hot. Yeah, but that's pretty heavy. I'm gonna drop that on your toe. So I usually kind of do that, and I take my both hands and I just kind of. It's kind of just stabilizes. So I'm using my empty hand as a guide. Because you want it, you don't want to start it way back here because the gas will just go out. You want it to be close to the weld so the gas can do its job. So remember the circles. We're going to get it nice and close. I'll put a magnet on this so it's not moving. So let's just. Let's just weld that. All right. So do your circles. Yeah. Use your other hand, your empty hand as a guide. Real nice and tight. Alright. So could you see it when you were welding?
I can see like the line.
You can see the line, you can see the circles you were making. So what you want to try to do is you want to try to connect them. So instead of going real wide like you were, you want to just try to go real small circles. Try just doing real small circles like that this time. Woo, it's hot. Hold on, let me clean this off real quick. It's easier for you to weld. So let's try again. Try to just do this. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not trying to make it perfect. Just try to get your circles. Try to touch your circles as you go. Try to connect them together. Yeah, buddy. Much better. Yeah, much better. Alright, so you basically got the idea now. See how hot that gets? Instantly. I picked it up and it started smoking. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the stem and the center. So I'm thinking, you want to go on the inside. Yep, you want to touch, you want to make sure that you weld it where it's going to be, you have clear access and it's going to be touching. So we're going to do that. Just move that over real quick. And what I want to do is I want to raise the end of this up. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to weld it right there. You want to connect this to this. So you're going to, don't pull the trigger yet, but you're going to put it right there, and you're going to let it count to 2, but keep welding. And then just do a circle right there. Count to 2 and then do a circle. Alright, so we're going to do, so on the next one, which you did good, it's welded. But I want to make sure it's welded even more. So see the circle, like that hole?
Yeah.
So in between this and like right there, try to weld, do a little more weld. Do like, maybe like the letter C. Like weld it, go around, you know what I mean? Try not to get it in the hole, but go around this weld that you just did and try to fill that in a little more, just to make sure it's going to stay. Yep, keep going. Go ahead. Alright, good. Perfect. That's not going to go anywhere now. Alright, so that's what... Yep, we'll weld the sides up. So find out where you want it to be, pull back just a touch, and then count to 4 this time. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, you can do it a little more if you want. Just connect where it's the welders to the plate. Do like a couple of circles right there. Nice and tight. Woo! Working. Alright, so on this side it'll be the same thing, just on the opposite side. Just what you're really trying to do is you're filling in the void right there, that gap, and then you just want to do a circle. What that does is it kind of bridges the gap between this and this and just fills it up. Perfect. Look how good that looks. That looks so good. Yeah, I'll show them. There's Dylan's weld. Looks great. That was his first, well, his second one, and that's his third one. See the heat? That's the heat that penetrated through, so you know that's a good strong weld. So I'm gonna clean a little bit of the mill scale off the back of these real quick. I already cleaned off the insides where they meet, but what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be trying to weld like right here where that little opening is, where it starts to open. That's where it's going to want to fill with the weld, and that's what will make it strong, is to connect. If we just put a weld right there on the top, it won't really be that strong, and it might break. Yep, that's what we want to do. We'll clean all this area right at the ends, but what you're really going to be aiming at, where you're going to want to be welding, is like right there. Okay? So let me just clean these up real quick. And what I'll do is I'll grab the sander. Sits over there collecting dust. It's just a cheap little sander, but it works. You can do it. Watch yourself, because you want to pull it. Yeah, it's just a big fancy piece of sandpaper. So start wherever you want to start, basically. You want to start on this one, you start on this one. You know what I had already pointed out, you want to try to fill in the gap. Do you want me to move everything over to you, closer to you, or are you okay? You can move the thing, you can move the welding gun, you can do whatever you want. Can you reach it okay? You can move it, you can do whatever you want. You put it however you want to do it. In order to do what you got to do. And you want to be able to, like I said, about 1/4 of an inch away. About the thickness of that horseshoe is what you want to keep that brass nozzle. That's how far away you want it to be. So you go ahead and pull the trigger and weld it. There you go. You want to do another one right next to it? There you go. Okay. Hold on. You're welding the table. You want to make sure you don't weld the table. Alright, so let's move over to this one. You want to try to fill, you start right where they're touching and then just bring it back just a little bit towards you. Okay, yep. Good. Again, you want to make sure we don't weld the table. Right there again. We can move it on the next one. We'll move it before you do the next one. Hold on. Good. Alright, so let's spin it around, okay? So we'll be able to get to the other one. So try to line it up with our picture here. Best we can. Alright, so why don't you weld these two right where they touch. Okay. Alright, now let's do these ones. Perfect. Can you reach this one, or do you want me to move it? Okay. Yeah. All right. Dylan made a flower. Alright, so those are all good. That one's really good. This is a really good weld. Hey, put it right in. Really, really good. So what you want to check for is just to make sure that you got good penetration. And this is really thick metal, so it takes a lot of heat. I turned up the welder just to make sure it would stick good. So it looks really good. That will not go anywhere. So what do we want to do for the petals? Alright, we're going to use that one. Okay. And then what else? Do we have anything else? Basket tape right there. So we're going to put this here. I just want to clean this off real quick. Just to make sure it stays, the weld sticks. It'll disappear. So let me just turn it down real quick. I'll hold it where you want me to hold it, and then you weld it. I have more of that. We can always put a few more on too if you want. Watch your finger, it's part of it. Okay, I got it. That where you want it? Okay. Go ahead. Good. You want me to look and see if I have more?
Sure.
So we're gonna weld it. Yeah, just weld it where it touches the rebar. Let me flatten it out a little bit. So we're gonna weld it here and over here. It's not the prettiest, but it'll do. Yeah, maybe just get it a little closer next time. See how far away you had it? You had it an inch away. So if you had it a little bit closer, it would weld a little bit better. Try to weld it in between this metal and the rebar and the stem. All you gotta do is weld it there and there. So just weld it. Just, you know, remember what I said before, 2 seconds, nice and close. That's it. Good. That's it.
I just watched you do that one.
Careful, don't touch it. you touch it, you burn your finger. Yeah. Isn't it cool how you can see it with these helmets on? It's incredible. So, this is Dylan's flower that he's made so far. And it's coming out pretty awesome. What's next? Do you want to put it on a base? I don't know what I have for a base. Alright, we gotta clean them up. So they're gonna be, so I think we're gonna have to put like a plate here, because otherwise they're not gonna match, they're not gonna meet up. So find something. I know I have one. Alright, let's see if that'll go in there. Yep. Got this one. Is it too long?
I mean, you could always cut it too.
Do it like that so it spreads it out even more. Because I think, if anything, it needs to be like, because of this, it hangs over this way. I think this foot needs to be a little further out. But I could cut it. You want me to cut it? Or do you want to leave it like that?
I feel like that's good.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to clean up. Actually, we'll fire up the sander, and I need you to clean all these areas right here on the top where it says diamond. Just grind these a little bit, sand them down, and then I'll clean this up. We're going to weld it.
Tell me love, spread your wings, a new day will come. It will get better. Give it some time. Free yourself. Let your troubles
Four of them done?
Yep.
We're going to weld it right there. Why is there like a cold... You feel that? Look at that. It's coming right through there. See that moving?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bird's nest up there and you could see it.
I saw something move up there.
Yeah. I'm going to have to re-insulate that. I think the birds and the mice removed the insulation. I never noticed that.
Yeah, I just saw something like move like a...
Yeah?
Like just
Yeah, the mice always run up and down that all the time.
Yeah, I just saw something like walking and it looked like chubby.
Alright, so get this cleaned up. That's cleaned up, so we're just going to weld right to that. So let's get these welded on first. Alright. There you go. Do your thing. Grab your welding gun.
Ready?
Huh?
Ready?
You ready? Thank you, sir. A little bit. Yeah. There you go. There you go. That's good. Woo! Look at that. With the heat. See how it bent it up because of the heat. So we're gonna have to kind of straighten that back out if we can. Let me put this in a vise real quick. Try not to break it.
Okay.
So I'm going to just have you tack it right on the back of that. Just to pull it back down. Right there. Count to 2. Good. Just do small circles. Go ahead, pull the trigger. Okay. that?
I saw it making layers.
That's what you want to try to do. You want to make layers with it.
How you doing?
Don't look at
You're surprised. Get out! Yo, get out of
I
here!
wanted to know what's going on.
Yo, get out!
Can I see?
Don't look.
Okay. Are you having fun?
No girls allowed. Try to make little circles. Try to get you used to the movement. Go ahead. See how it makes the little circles? That's what you want to try to accomplish when you're welding. Okay. Okay? See how it makes the circles? That's what you want. So when you get older and you weld and you do stuff, that's what you want to try to do. You want to try to overlap the circles. And that's what it makes. That's what it looks like. So they kind of pulled up a little bit. See it because of the heat. We can always tweak them afterwards a little bit. It's easier to control if you have it, if you're holding it and you have something like this to rest it on. Because when you're further back, even though you feel like you're moving, making small movements, by the time you're making a small movement here, but by the time you're out here, it's a bigger movement. So you want to try to, if you can, try to like get your body position or place your hand and just try to be able to recreate those movements like that, those small circles. Just watch yourself where it's hot. You need to put something like that down to rest your hand on. You can do that, whatever you need to do. Awesome. Oh, look at that. Good job. Oh, that's it. Okay. You want to add a little more to that one? Just have one little tack there. There you go. Good job. That's a good one. Hold it down a little. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to mount this here. So what we're going to do is we're going to just do one tack on this side, so just 1, 2, and then we're going to spin it around, do one on that side, and then what we'll do is one on either side, and then we'll just connect them. So you'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you go zzz, connect this one, spin it around, we'll connect these two, and we'll connect these two and these two. Yep. A little bit closer. Perfect. Perfect. Do the same thing on that side. Yep. A little bit higher. Perfect. Alright. Now right there. Yep. Awesome.
The inside is here.
Smoking. Yeah, it's so hot in there. Might be a little bit of oil or something in that too, you know. Okay. Two. Awesome. Alright, let's do this. These two. Go ahead. Truthfully, it's probably all we need. We're adding a lot of heat to this thing. Yeah, weld it. There. This thing is getting hot, my friend. The whole thing's getting real hot. Now we're going to weld the stem to this. We don't need to go all the way around it, but you can just do like 4 tacks around it.
Is there a load on your back?
in the holder.
Now spray painting time.
Why don't we let that cool for now? But you want to go show your mom now and see?
I want to see it.
It won't be dry till tomorrow. Do you want to show it to her now and then paint it tonight, or do you want to just wait until she can see it tomorrow?
Yeah, sure.
You want to show her? Do not touch it there. Let me grab some air and cool that down a little bit, because that will absolutely burn your hand.
Tear me love, spray your wings, a new day will come again. I promise it will get better.
Take it in. Don't touch the bottom. You can hold it by the top. Take it in and show your mom. Or you want your mom to come out here and see it? I'll get your mom. I'll call her up. I'll go get her. Or you can. I want to see her reaction. We'll get her reaction on camera.
Alright, so you get the camera?
It's right there. They're going to see her when she walks in. Oh, Izzy barking like crazy.
Alright, so close your eyes.
Well, she can't close her eyes. She won't be able to come in the garage.
Close your eyes. Alright, let's go. Guess what it is first? A heart? No. A butterfly? 3, 2, 1. Dale, you made that?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
He cleaned all the metal in a lot of the areas on the back. He did all of these welds. All of
Dude,
them.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Even that one looks real primo.
Yeah.
Good.
He said, yeah, I can see how it overlaps. And I said, yeah, that's exactly what you want to look for.
Wow, bud.
Yeah.
You did awesome.
He wants to paint it now. It's still a little warm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
so we're
I
gonna do all
love
this,
it.
We're gonna do all this green, yellow, and red.
Okay. I love it. Can you do those purple?
Sure.
I like purple better.
Green, yellow, and purple.
Yeah.
You see what I got?
If he has purple. If not, red is fine.
do. Alright, so now Dylan's spray painting his flower. You want to do nice, even, a little bit further away. You want to stand like a foot away. There you go. Now try to just side to side and try to just get it all nice and even.
Free yourself. Let your troubles unwind. Sweet lover of mine. Free yourself. Did my promises make it better? Healing in time. Free yourself. Let your troubles
You need work on your spray paint technique. You weld better than you spray paint. So there's some white down here still underneath, like if you spray it from underneath. Like no. You're spraying it towards you. Get down like this and spray it like this, away from you. Always spray it away from you. Yeah. Try not to get it on the purple though. All right, Dylan. Well, don't take that off yet because it's nasty in here. Gonna get a good look at it in the light now. This is Dylan's masterpiece. You happy with it? Good job. You did awesome. Well, that's our afternoon in the garage. We took a break from working on the hot rod today, and we decided to make Mom something because she deserves it and she needed a break. So, alright, probably hot pop that respirator off and we can head in the house.